Since 1992, River City's Humane Society for Cats has provided a safe haven for rescued strays in Northeast Louisiana. Operating solely on adoption and surrender fees, fundraisers, and contributions, River Cities has rescued and adopted over 9,000 animals. All cats are litter box trained, spayed or neutered, tested for feline AIDS and leukemia, socialized and up to date on routine vaccinations. With options like volunteering, donating, adopting, or corporate sponsorship, River Cities welcomes your help as we find forever homes.
Over the years, our shelter has grown from a little cottage that was donated to us and moved to property leased from the city of Monroe to our current state-of-the-art shelter that's located at 5302 DeSeard Street in Monroe, Louisiana. Our shelter features colony housing for the cats. That is, except for the new kitties that come in and the sick ones, all our residents live in open, airy rooms in a home-like atmosphere. Our optimal population at the shelter is around 50. The shelter was designed to hold that many cats. Usually we have around 70, and also we have a lot of animals, especially kittens, in foster care. And the need is huge. The answer to the cat overpopulation situation is spaying and neutering, but until that happens, until everybody has their animal fixed, there'll be a huge need for a no-kill shelter such as River Cities. I'm one of the founding members of River Cities Humane Society. Back in 1989, the only no-kill shelter in this area had facilities for about 200 dogs, but only a tiny room that would hold around 10 to 15 cats and kittens. The shelter was operated by a local humane society and in conjunction with the city of Monroe. And a number of us were members of the little humane society, and we recognized that there was a need for a bigger and better facility for the cats in our area. So we banded together to form River Cities Humane Society. We raised money and we got our 501c3 nonprofit status from the IRS, and we have been operating a shelter since 1991.
I'm Shelley McCullen, and I am co-founder of the River Cities Humane Society for Cats. This new facility is wonderful. We outgrew our old facility. We have a lot to offer here. This is a one-of-a-kind no-kill facility that specializes in cats and kittens. We meet their needs, and we help the public by taking in unwanted strays, and we get them fixed, we give them medical care, and then we adopt them out at a nominal fee.
I'm going to take you on a tour of our shelter. We are in the treatment room right now. This is our intake room for new cats. We do a feline health exam where we check them for feline AIDS and leukemia. We vaccinate them with the appropriate vaccines, and then we put them in our quarantine room for observation. In an average week, we take in about 10 to 12 cats.
Where do they normally come from?
I'd say about half come from owners who can no longer take care of them for various reasons, and the other half come from Good Samaritans who pick up cats or kittens off the side of the road. We have 3 separate rooms for the cats, a boys' room, a girls' room, and a kitten room. I'm going to show you into the boys' room right now. I want you to meet Prince. He is one of our newest residents here at River Cities. His owners were moving and unable to take him with them. So he's here, available for adoption. He is about 1 year old, and he's already been neutered and up to date on his shots.
How long do you normally keep a cat here waiting for a good home?
Our cats here stay here until we find them a good home. We're a no-kill shelter, so they stay here. They have a home here until they are adopted.
Tell us about the cat that's hiding in the little box there.
This is Poppy, one of our older residents. He came in because of his owner became handicapped and unable to take care of him. And under here we have Clive. He is about 1 year old.
Does he like to hide under the sheet?
He does like to hide under the pillowcase. We have several kitties that like to hide under the covers. And
How long have you had that cat here?
Clive has been here for a year. He's kind of a special needs kitty, so it's been hard to find him a home. This is Patches, a beautiful 2-year-old calico who's been spayed and declawed. She's very friendly. She came to us because of her owner also became disabled and unable to take care of her.
People hear the phrase calico. What does that mean?
Calico means any kitty with 3 colors, and they are 99% of the time female cats.
Now, if people want to adopt one of these cats, what kind of medical treatment will those cats get before they go to a home?
Before they go to a home, we make sure the cat is either spayed or neutered to prevent overpopulation. We make sure the cat is up to date on their core vaccines. We also will have them tested for feline leukemia and AIDS, and we deworm them and deflea them as well before they are adopted.
Now, how can you tell if a cat is going to make a good pet at a home?
Well, you kind of have to get a feel for the cat. Most of them that come in are very adoptable for a home type situation. And we work with each person that wants to adopt a cat to make sure that they adopt out a cat that's not only right for their family, but also right for the cat. As you can see from the pretty pink walls, this is the girls' room. Now I want you to meet Scarlett, a beautiful 1-year-old tabby calico. She is very new to the shelter, but you can see she is adjusting very well.
And she's also found the microphone on there. That's why you're hearing some scratchiness, because the cat is playing with the microphone. Tell us about her.
Scarlett is about 1 year old. She's already been spayed and up to date on her shots. She loves to cuddle and play and ride on our shoulders as we walk around. She's a very curious little cat who needs a forever home.
And where was she before she came here to the shelter?
She was in a home with several other cats, and she unfortunately was not getting along with all of them and needed to be placed in the shelter to find a better home suited for her.
And how has she been since she's been here?
She's done very well. She hasn't had any problems adjusting. We try to make things as comfortable as possible when they first come in to make sure they feel safe and secure and loved. This is Tinkerbell. She has been at the shelter for a few months now. She unfortunately was left in a trailer park after her family moved. This happens a lot. Unfortunately, people move and leave their cats behind. Well, she was brought to us by a Good Samaritan that was looking out for her, and she likes to spend a lot of time outdoors on our patio and sunning and playing with the other cats. Sitting by our window is Angelica. She is a beautiful, long-haired, young adult female. She was brought to us also as a stray. She kind of has an interesting story. She actually raised 12 orphan kittens this summer. She actually nursed them from birth. We get lots of orphan kittens in during the summer, and she took each and every one of them on as her own and nursed them until they were old enough to be adopted.
What kind of a pet would she make at somebody's home?
She would make an excellent pet. She is really a very well-rounded cat. She gets along with kids, she gets along with dogs, she gets along with other cats. She's just a real laid-back cat that loves attention. And here's one that doesn't like attention. This is Trixie. She is a longtime resident at River Cities. She has been adopted and brought back several times for different reasons. But here at River Cities, if they are a River Cities cat, they always have a home. So if something does happen when an adopter adopts one of our cats, we always take them back. Now under here is another kitty who likes under the covers. Her name is Baby, and Baby doesn't know she's a cat. I don't think she has looked in a mirror. She is very much likes people, but does not like other cats. So she needs a good home where she can be the only the only cat and get all the attention to herself. And she would be a very good bed buddy because she likes it under the covers.
So some cats like to be under the covers and some don't.
Yes. This bright green room is our kitten room. We can usually hold between 10 and 20 kittens at any time. And this sweet guy is Owens. He's actually one of my foster kittens. He was thrown over the fence with a terrible, terrible eye infection that has caused him to be blind. I tube fed him and had to give him fluids for about a week. We didn't think this little guy was going to make it, but beyond all odds, he has. We thought we were going to be able to save his little eyes, but they were too far gone. But he has adapted very well to being a blind kitten at my house. He jumps on and off the couch, and he plays with the other kittens and follows me. And he knows his name very well, and he is starting to learn the word no.
Good. Now tell us about this other kitten that you're going to show us here in a minute.
All right, this little guy is Chief, also one of my foster kittens that I've had since he was about 2 weeks old. When we initially rescued him, his mother had left him behind because he was sick. He had an upper respiratory infection, and nature says, you know, the healthiest survive. So Mom took the healthy kittens away and left this little guy behind. But we were able to medicate him and bottle feed him and raise him to the spoiled little kitten that he is now. He's very energetic and very outgoing and not afraid to tell you what he wants.
Do people tend to adopt kittens more or full-grown cats?
Seems like people tend to adopt kittens more because they're so cute, of course, and they're very active and playful. But we also have a lot of people that adopt adult cats because their personality is already established, and you know how big they're going to be and things like that. But kittens seem to generally go first.
Now tell us about the room behind you here.
This room is one of our Rudy rooms. It was named after one of the first cats that stayed in it, named Rudy. We use these rooms to isolate the cats from the other cats, maybe because they're ill or because they're new to the room. They don't know the other cats yet, and it helps them to become familiar with the room before we actually let them out with all the other kitties.
Now tell us about the capacity here. How close are you to full capacity?
We're actually over full capacity right now. We have over 70 cats and kittens right now. We do have several being fostered out, but they will eventually need to come back into the shelter.
If you had a larger shelter, how many cats could you accommodate?
If we had a larger shelter, we could probably accommodate about 100 cats at any given time.
There's that much demand?
Yes. Well, we could house, you know, over 1,000 cats. There's that much demand, but we unfortunately have to turn down a lot of people because we don't have the funding and we don't have the space to take care of all of them. But we do the best we can for the ones that we have. One of the best things about River Cities is we have outside patios for each of our community rooms, and they're able to come and go in and out as they please. As you can see, we do have an outside area that the cats can play in, and it is closed off at night when we're not here, but we have special fencing around the top so the cats can't get out and they're safe to play outdoors.
What are the advantages of having the cats being able to live both inside and outside?
The advantages of having the cats be able to come in and outside, it makes a less stressful environment for the cats. They have more room to run and play like they would in a new home, so it makes things easier to adjust.
And healthier for the cats to get
and
exercise.
Much healthier for the cats. They get lots of exercise and fresh air.
This is Dr. Sarah Groen. I work at Monroe Animal Health Center. We treat dogs and cats, small animals all over Northeast Louisiana. We've been in business for a long time. For the last 4 years or so, we have been the main veterinarian for the River Cities Humane Society for Cats. This is a wonderful shelter. They try to help kittens and cats all over the whole region. Monroe, West Monroe, Bastrop, Sterlington, just all the nearby towns, with an emphasis. What we see is a lot of the sick animals, sick kittens, cats that would normally have to be put to sleep if they're stray or the owner can't afford something. Then the shelter really tries to help out with that. So that's one of their main focuses and goals, is to try to save as many cats as they can. We do a lot of help with the foster babies. We help with just any kind of injury that need, any kind of deworming, just basic care of the cats. This shelter is very important. It is the only shelter in this area that caters to cats, and we have mainly cats. The other Ouachita Parish shelters, there's one in West Monroe and one in Monroe. The West Monroe shelter holds maybe 10 cats at a time. The Monroe shelter does not have any cats. So this River Cities Humane Society is the only shelter for cats, really, that we have in this region. We have a capacity of maybe about 70 cats, and the need is really for a lot more, because we have just hundreds of strays, literally, that we're having to turn away that we can't help. But the overpopulation in this area with dogs and cats is just astronomical. The dog shelter has to put thousands of dogs to sleep a year. You know, we just don't have very many adoptions for what the amount of strays that come in, or people that want to get rid of their pets. So this is a really good shelter and organization for cats that, you know, it gives people hope, gives them a chance. We have waiting lists. We're a no-kill shelter. They are a no-kill shelter. They have a waiting list that they will put the name on, and they will call back. It may take a few months, but they will call back every single person. Waiting list is people that have kittens or adult cats that they need to find a home for. Or they have a stray outside that they're feeding or something like that that they need to try to find a home for. Or they don't want to just bring it, they want it taken care of. They don't want it just euthanized or killed at a high kill shelter. They want it placed where it would be placed in a good family. It's very important that the community support the facility, because this is the main way, or the main shelter for these cats, and we are helping with the overpopulation problem. We get every cat is spayed or neutered. They're vaccinated. It helps prevent disease.
I've been a veterinarian for 16 years, and I joined the board of River Cities Humane Society a year ago, and I had been familiar with River Cities and their mission to provide care for animals, not only healthy cats and kittens, but those that were sick and needed more attention. So a couple of the board members who were already in place asked if I would join the board to help satisfy that mission.
How important is River Cities to the community?
To the community, it is extremely important, because we don't have any other facility that can house cats and care for them in the situation that we can at River Cities. With the building that we have and the staff that we have, we can provide a home base for about 30 cats, and then we can also put about 30 cats in foster homes. So we can do so much for the cats of the community. The other shelters in the community are not cat exclusive, so River Cities is, you know, just set apart from everybody else, because we can be cat exclusive and provide the care that they need.
From a medical standpoint, tell us about the care that the cats receive at River Cities.
So the cats receive outstanding care with 2 veterinarians on the board, and with the help of all the local veterinarians. These cats are treated for any illnesses that they may have, and then they are spayed, neutered, and vaccinated before they are adopted. So we can provide everything that they need before they get into their forever homes.
And where do these cats come from?
Oh, the cats come from all over the community. A lot of them are abandoned. Some people have to give up ownership of cats. Some people find stray kittens that they bring in, and we can provide the service of taking those cats in and caring for them with the help of financial help from the community.
How far does the shelter serve?
It basically serves the Monroe and West Monroe area, and you know, it reaches far with them. And you know, the veterinary community, you know, we have about 10 clinics between those two towns, you know, and so they provide a lot of help too. This is Griff. I'd like y'all to meet him. He is our clinic cat here, and he's been with us for a number of years. He's in his teens, and he is spoiled rotten, but he was one of the lucky ones that strayed here and didn't have a home, so we allowed him to stay. So he pretty much does what he wants here. And you know, we see the benefit of having the cat around with him when clients come in and he crawls up on their lap and just gives them a sense of calm. And he's a happy boy. He doesn't like to be held today, but he's got a little friend outside. He'd rather be out there playing with him. So, but we see the benefit of cats and what they bring to their owners, just the unconditional love, and we want to make our cat clients happy and keep them healthy for a long time, because we know what they can bring to a family.
This is my cat. By here it's Dr. O'Malley, but we renamed him to Skipper. He was a patient here and fell in love with him and decided to go ahead and adopt him.
Tell us about the adoption process.
He needed a good home and just basically just fell in love with him, and asked him if I could take him home and, you know, do the fostering to begin with, and decided to keep him.
What kind of care did he get while he was at River Cities?
River Cities, they took care of him, you know, made sure he got the proper care he needed. They take in so many cats and kittens, you know, and treat them well, make sure they go to good homes, make sure they go to good fosters before good homes. They just do a great job at, you know, getting them off the streets and making sure they find a forever home.
This little baby, her name is Tama, aka Mama, aka Llama, and she was actually my second cat to adopt from the Humane Society. My first cat was named Littlefoot. He was a orangish cat with kind of some yellowish to him, and I decided to actually adopt from them again because it was just a really great experience the first time. You know, they helped me out a lot. They let me kind of roam through and see all the other cats and kind of, you know, interact with them and get to know some of them. And also, like I was telling them out there, a lot of the biggest thing was, you know, it's $60 to adopt a cat. But what people don't realize is that it comes with shots, and not only that, but if they're too young, you can bring them back later and they'll spay and or neuter it for you. And I mean, that's just one of the biggest helps, like I said, because I mean, if you just go get a cat from one of your neighbors or whatever, you still got to get it shots, you still got to get it spayed, and I mean, that can end up costing over $200. So I mean, that definitely is part of the adoption process that helped me a lot.
Hi, this is my cat, Timey. She was adopted back in December by me from River Cities Humane Society. When I first got her, she had a back broken rear leg and radial nerve damage in her front paw. And her leg has healed up nicely. And we just got her leg amputated. And she's doing well.
What does this cat mean to you?
Oh, she means everything to me. She's brought a lot of love and laughter into our house, and has also brought my other cat out of his shell. And now he's much more active and loving now that I have her with me.
Tell us about the River Cities Humane Society.
The workers really love the cats, and you can tell that they're very passionate about what they do with River City Humane Society. And the cats, that mean a lot to them, and to be able to have such an awesome no-kill shelter here in Monroe is really a great quality of our city.
This is Prince. He was my cat, and he came to the shelter as a surrender because I moved and I could only have 2 pets. So they were kind enough to take him in for me, and hopefully he'll get adopted out.
Tell us, what kind of a cat is he?
He is a short hair buff and cream mix. He's 1 year old, neutered, up to date on shots, And he has his claws, but he does not damage your furniture.
In the shelter, we have about 5 volunteers on a regular basis that have been a great asset to the shelter.
How important are volunteers?
Volunteers are very, very important. They help spread awareness. They help us here in the shelter, as well as at fundraisers and other events.
I have been volunteering here for a little over a year, and my duties are varied. It depends on what needs to be done day by day, anything from sweeping to bottle feeding kittens.
What does the shelter mean to you?
It's a special place. It's like family. Once you get in here and you get involved with the animals and the other volunteers, it's just a special place, and I love coming here.
Oh, the people here are so wonderful. They just make you feel welcome, and you feel like you're doing such a good thing for not only the cats but for the community. And even though some of our stuff we do is not very glamorous, we just love doing it.
I feel happy when I come here, and I feel happy when I leave. And I feel like volunteering here has made me realize the extent of the animal problem, the overpopulation, and just how much people care. It's given me faith in humanity again.
I've been a volunteer for a little over a year, and I started out doing just things here at the shelter and then got more and more involved because I could see the need. Now I do a lot of the transportation, taking the kittens and cats back and forth to the vet to be spayed or neutered, which is something that has to be done. No cat leaves this shelter without being spayed or neutered.
Why do you continue to volunteer?
Because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing for the community. It's the right thing for this organization. It's very much needed. People just don't realize how much we need to be taking care of these animals.
River Cities does not receive any funds from any federal government agency. We are all donations from people in the community, from businesses in the community. We definitely need not only financial support but also supplies for the shelter on a daily basis.
We're always in need of cat litter, cat food, baby blankets, baby wipes, bottles. And if you want to stop by the shelter and bring any of those items, that'd be greatly appreciated. Or you can go to Amazon.com. River Cities has a wish list there, and you can order it online and it will be shipped to River Cities. Any of those ways to donate supplies would be great and greatly appreciated.
We're very excited about our 900 square foot expansion that we are doing to our existing building. It will consist of 2 hospitals and a kitten nursery.
If people like to get involved with the expansion, what should they do?
We have a program called Purchase a Paw. For only $50, you can commemorate a beloved animal or person, and it will forever be on the walls of the shelter. It's approximately 10 by 10. It has a little paw, and then you can put in memory of your beloved pet or person.
And can you get more information from the website?
Absolutely, and you can also call our shelter at 343-3031. The River Cities Humane Society is very excited to announce our first annual fundraiser, Tales at Twilight. It will be held on Saturday, October 3rd at Bayou Landing in Monroe, Louisiana. This is an evening gala that will include food, drinks, and live entertainment. We will also have a silent auction and a photo booth. So come and join us on Saturday, October 3rd. It will be lots of fun, and the party starts at 7 p.m.
If people have questions or like to get involved, what should they do?
They can either go to our website, or they can actually stop by to get tickets. We have 5 locations here in Monroe: the River Cities Humane Society, the Lindsay Veterinary Clinic, Monroe Animal Health, also the Flirty Ginger and Panache by Aaron. All have tickets available.
River Cities is excited to be nominated for the Best Nonprofit Organization and is a finalist for the Best of the Delta this year. Please visit our website for more information on how you can help by becoming a sponsor, donor, or volunteer. Please send your tax-deductible donation to River Cities Humane Society, 5302 DeSeard Street, Monroe, Louisiana 71203. The website is rivercitiescats.org.